Hi. I wonder if I overuse emoticons. I wonder if I obnoxiously overuse the smiley. It's like my punctuation of life. Do do do. All right.
Okay, look at the camera for me.
Okay. Do my glasses glare?
No.
Okay, good.
Good. Okay.
I did not pay for the anti-glare.
It's annoying anyways. It makes them foggy.
Yeah. Also, I accidentally brewed a decaf, not intentionally, but if you're wondering...
That's what I do.
Okay.
Here. Okay.
Which is good, because clearly I need sleep.
Smile. Okay. Oh, I'll give you a shot.
A shot?
Can you see you now?
No.
Oh yeah. I might want to turn it on. Oh, Sash, it's been a hell of a night.
It's a great time. It's fun. Septic stuff is the worst. True. This is going to be the best ever. The live site is down right now, says Solbu. Thank you, Solbu. When do you think teleporting will be real? Because I'd like the whole chat room to be here right now.
Do you need anything?
Will you top up my coffee before we start?
Sure, yeah.
I've been... All right. Blokey has joined. Whomever Blokey is. Thank you.
Print our notes.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to pull a show out of our arses.
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely. We're going to do an unboxing. We're going to do a genuine manipulation program.
I'll give you a rundown on what's going on in my life on air. That'll take some time.
Yeah.
In Aurora. That's close. Huh.
Okay.
I feel like part of my lottery win dream will be to give tickets to everybody to come here.
We're going to fill in more easy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just, in all honesty, Sash, I'm a little heartbroken. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were so excited about the interview going so well.
The interview went great.
Yes.
It was timely because it had to do with a hack attack that just happened.
Right.
It was with a world famous security expert.
Right.
And
Is it help? Oh, is it helpful to remember that hack attacks happen on the daily, and it'll
we're hacked.
maybe we were hacked. Do, do, do.
Hey, everybody!
Canada would be great, Marshman. Come to Canada.
Is anything missing?
Off of this, Jeff is missing.
What else?
The cameras are on.
Cameras are on.
Did you turn the microphone off on anything that you need to be taking split screen visuals of?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good check.
Okay. What else has happened in the past?
Hello, my darling community. Oh boy, Sasha's running the show. As you can see, it's all about Sasha tonight.
That's right.
And
Welcome to the Sasha Show. I can't even say it.
yeah,
Sasha Show.
welcome everybody. Check 1, 2. Sasha, do you want to give me a sound check?
Check 1, 2.
Nice. All right, let's get our Facebook feed up and then we'll be live.
Backstage camera isn't on purpose because it would be
Backstage, yeah.
just me today, and you don't need that many views of me. I would say this is probably enough.
Truth is, we've been having some technical difficulties, and Backstage Pass falls backstage to the back burner tonight. And by technical difficulties, I mean a crashed hard drive in the broadcast server. Not good.
And since I'm on only level 5 of my Grasshopper coding app, I cannot help in any way at all.
Smile for us, Sasha. Hey, Sasha. How you
Hello.
doing?
I'm doing good.
Hey, world. Hello. Hey, Facebook. Hey, Sasha. Over there. We're about to go live.
Perfect.
And I think we've got everything kind of working. We got extreme close-ups.
Wow.
Yeah. And excellent. And we got delay on Facebook. Yeah, we're live. We made it.
Yes, here we are.
It's wonderful. And Sasha's running the show.
Here
I'm
I
just
am.
here to push buttons.
Okay.
Are you running the show?
Well,
are
are
you
we
actually
ready?
running the show? It's been a heck of a day for me, so I don't mind if you actually want to just do everything.
Although I would like to run the show, I would also like to have continued viewership, and I feel like this, if I ran the show, would be the last show you'd ever watch. So we'll let Robbie get it.
Let the comment flood begin. Everybody's going to start saying, I wish Sasha would run the show.
You probably don't. No.
Yeah.
No.
Imagine if I just did technical stuff, like just making sure that everything worked.
And I just did all the
And you-
talking. Like just like a
Absolutely.
lifestyle, like vlog, like here's a little
Yeah.
bit about me. Because
Yeah.
you probably watched the show because you have some sort of base computer knowledge, and I cannot help you. I can ask you questions.
Just throw it to Robbie.
Yeah.
And Jeff couldn't make it here tonight. So we've had technical difficulties.
Yeah.
We've had one who is stuck in Toronto.
Yeah.
Sasha
Is here.
Our faithful co-host and is always here.
That's because I get
Bless
out of
her
work
heart.
early every Wednesday to get here.
Aw, thanks, buddy.
I would not
You
miss
miss-
it.
Aw,
Not only
thanks.
do I get here,
Me too.
but
I'm here.
I get a half hour off work.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's reason enough to be a part of this. Hey, if you could get a
I would-
half hour off work.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I'm
do
just
this
going to
every
fix...
day.
See how there's a bit of an angle on Sasha's camera? I'm just going to fix that.
Oh, good. Well, you're in the neighborhood. Can you move that cord out of the screen in my face? Super. I wasn't going to ask you because it seems really high maintenance as a request. Picky. Totally picky. Especially because I shouldn't really be looking at myself. That's also vain. That's better. I just got my hairs did today. Every 5 weeks on a Wednesday, I get my hair done. Robbie sings for you. Did he used to do that, GWG? Because that is the second time you said that.
That would be a good way to fill time, as if we would just do an opera.
We could sing. I could do nothing.
You're gonna learn to rap? Because I got to do a rap song. As soon as Patreon hits $250 a month, we have to write and perform a rap song here on Category 5 TV.
I've memorized The Cat in the Hat.
That's
Not a rap.
Start.
But it rhymes.
That's
I could
good.
say it fast.
How do you guys feel about the camera? Sasha's looks a little undersaturated compared to mine. What do you guys think?
What
Chat?
does that mean? Does it mean I look pale?
It means it looks
Bright, like a diamond.
Bring down the exposure a little bit.
It's a lot more stable for me. Okay. I could do like the beginning to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I think. He did do a rap? Huh.
Who did?
You did.
Me?
I remember you rap answered a question, a viewer question. Is this what we're talking about?
Well, I did do that.
You did do that. We did that nerdy video too. Is that $250 monthly, Marshman?
Look up for me.
Yes. This is all the work Robbie has to do when I had a bad sleep the night before.
What?
Full of weather reports. I can't talk about the weather by myself. The weather's nice, actually.
Well, yeah, I forgot to mention to the Bookface viewers that we're just
this
about
is not
to go
really
live.
the show.
This is not the actual show just yet.
Yeah.
We're working on that actual show thing happening. You ready for it?
Oh,
hey, chat room. You remember Christy Burton, do ya? Well done, sir. They're waiting for your joke of the week over there, Sasha.
Oh, it's been a while.
It has been a while. So I've got like boom. I've got doo doo. I can control it from here, even though I'm sitting right next to the server.
Do you want to hear?
good.
Do you want to hear a joke
you're
about
on double.
potassium?
Oh, do we?
Okay,
Is this happening?
that was it.
What?
Isn't the?
Is that the?
Yeah.
Is that
that's
like
it.
the? I don't
Wah,
even. I don't know
wah.
anything about science.
That's okay.
I learned TEM. That's all I learned.
You want to start?
Okay, cool. This is a cool shot.
Oh, that's fun. Good thing I flossed.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could use that. I could bring your shot down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and we can work together like that. That's cool.
All right.
All right.
Ready?
Ready? You ready?
I think so. I have
right.
to say two things.
Oh yeah, you're kind of first, aren't you?
I'm first, so I'm just waiting for you to stop your things.
Okay, I'll shut up. I can take a hint.
Our live recordings are trusted only to solid-state drives by Kingston Technology. Revive your computer with improved performance and reliability over traditional hard drives with Kingston SSDs.
Category 5 TV streams live with Telestream Wirecast and Nimble Streamer. Tune in every week on Roku, Kodi, Plex, and other HLS video players. For local showtimes, visit category5.tv.
Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. cat5.tv/TPN and the International Association of Internet Broadcasters, cat5.tv/IAIB.
Welcome to episode number 564. Are we actually at 564? Is that for real?
564. That is insanity. That's great.
Incredible. Now, Sasha and I are both in Studio D, and for those who would say, oh, it's like they're not even on the same camera, it's true. But we have this great shot so that, Sasha, I can look over at you. You've got to see, but when you look that way,
I
you're
have to
looking
look
away.
straight at
Yeah, you
you
have to
here.
actually look at the drapes.
The drapes.
Yeah,
Like there?
I'm basically the floor over there.
Am I looking at you right now?
No, not at all.
The drapes? Which drapes?
You're pondering things
Oh.
right now. Like the red curtain, maybe.
There.
There you go. Oh, hey, Sasha. Hey.
Oh, hi,
Hi,
Robbie.
Sasha.
Wow.
It's Mini Robbie.
This is crazy.
So we've had we've had a fun time getting things kind of up and going tonight. We had major technical difficulties before the show. We don't need to get into the details, but I do need to say thank you to our patrons. Our technical difficulties tonight will most assuredly result in expenses in order to get things back to exactly where they need to be. It's part of the nature of doing a live broadcast each and every week. I think that's one of the things that, behind the scenes that can happen is we can have some technical glitches and things that hopefully we're able to still be able to bring you a great show and you're not even necessarily going to notice the difference. But then we've got to fix things. So to our patrons, to those of you who are supporting Category 5 Technology TV, whether it be through Patreon or whether it be through direct donations through PayPal, maybe you've mailed us something, or maybe you just purchased things through our partner links on our website, category5.tv. That's a great way that you can support Category 5. So the funds that are raised through that usually help us to kind of sustain things this time around. This week, it's going to help us to get things back up and running the way that they should be. So here's hoping that we have a good week ahead. Right, Sash?
I know it's going to be a great week ahead. Yeah, thank you everyone for your help.
Absolutely, and thank you for being here with us tonight. And Sasha, thank you for making the trip as well. You'll notice that Jeff is not here.
No.
And Jeff, of course, works down in Toronto and unfortunately is stuck in traffic. We're on the air live on a Wednesday night now if you're watching live. Now, if you're watching this on demand or maybe on cable TV on the weekend, you're catching the on-demand video. But if you ever want to catch us live, we are very thankful to have a great internet connection now. And we come to you live from a city called Barrie, Ontario in Canada. And that is just about an hour north of Toronto. And we love doing this for you week after week. So Category 5 TV shirts are still available. You can head on over to cat5.tv/shirts to pick yours up. Sasha, you've still got some of those video games to give away.
Yes, Dead Effect 2 VR. We still have a couple left to give away, so you can win yours by emailing contest@category5.tv. And let us know who you are, how you're watching, where you're watching from, any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns. We will submit your ballot. We will draw one. You will win. You will love it. Hi to the chat room. DJ Mike says, hey, we should shoot the show every single week on green screen. And then we can make it so that the show is anywhere in the world, right, Sash? That's fun. We did that one time where I did the news from like a cave in Jamaica.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Why we do not do green screen each and every week. Now, we do have a green screen chroma key studio here, but our cameras have been upgraded to 4K. However, our broadcast server has not. So in order to pull a 4K stream, do live chroma key, we don't have the resources to do that. Eventually, now you'll notice if you are on Patreon, one of our goals is that we would like to upgrade our rig so that it's capable of 4K chroma key. Our show is still, we max out at 1080p, so that's what we record at, but in order to actually process that amount of visual data, we need a more powerful system here at the studio. I mentioned chat room. Hey, Lyndon, it's nice to see you again. C128D is here live. Marshman as well. If you ever want to join us in the chat room, you can head on over to our website, category5.tv, and you'll see the interact menu there. Sasha, you got here real quick tonight.
I got here so
we needed you here, and
I was
bam. How did you walk so fast?
Okay, so here's the thing. Last week at this time, I did not realize I would be talking about this. This is like one of those really last minute, super fun, spontaneous things I did. I bought a car.
No way.
I did. And I bought a brand new car. Like I didn't just...
Are you serious? You're spoiling yourself, girl.
I know. It's amazing. Okay, so I went to the dealership to test drive a car, thinking, okay, well, at some point soon, I'm going to buy one. I'm going to need to because it's about to snow. And Dave is so amazing that he feels responsible.
Dave, her husband, Dave.
Yes.
Yeah.
He feels responsible every time there's bad weather to drive me wherever it is I'm willing to walk or bike.
Oh,
but now we've just had this heat. I always want to call it a heat stroke. It's not. It's a heat wave. So
it'll lead to it, Sash. It'll lead to it.
Keep me from heat stroke. He has been driving me everywhere. amazing, and that's probably what.
That's good of him.
marriage is
So,
about.
so you said, I guess the conversation went something like, well, you know, you've been driving me around. Thank you so much, sweetheart. But I'll save you the trouble and I'll go buy myself a brand new car.
Well, what happened was he said, I'm going to go golfing, so I can't pick you up. And I said, okay, well,
I'll go buy a car?
Yeah. So I was like, that's okay. I just wanted to go test drive a car anyway, so don't worry. Don't rush home. And
Well, is that
then
ever
I
nice?
bought it.
And for long-term viewers, Sasha sold her car thinking, hey, this is a great idea to bike to the studio each and every week and everywhere you go. And
Yeah.
that didn't last through the Canadian winter. And that surprised me because as a Canadian,
Yeah.
you know, we bike in the winter.
Right. Okay. So I have to tell you a little bit about my car because
Okay.
I...
Brand new. I imagine it's
Brand-
technologically sophisticated.
Right. So it's a 2018 Chevy Spark. So Chevrolet Spark. I don't know whether or not is Chevrolet international? I don't even know.
Yes.
Anyway. So it's a subcompact. It's a tiny car. It's not as small as you can get, but it's like a tiny bit bigger than that.
Cool.
The thing is, I've had it for like 2 hours now. So
really?
I don't. Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
picked it up, went to work, came here. So
Oh, we should be doing like carpool karaoke or something like
I
that.
know, it's
that
like-
should be the show tonight.
there's 30 kilometers on my car right now, which is
What?
like 15 miles. I
Come
think.
on now.
Yeah, it's incredible. Okay, so when I get into my car, it asked me to sync my phone, which I guess is a normal thing. But then
Yeah.
it asked me to connect my phone with a USB cord, and now everything, like it mirrors onto the screen, the dash.
No.
So I could see that you were messaging, but my only response could possibly be, "Can't talk now, I'm driving."
Right, right.
But I can listen to my music straight from my phone
Oh, I
to my
love that.
car. I can. All my navigation is done through Google Maps. I can talk to my car like through, like I say, "Okay Google," kind of like you would say, "Hi
Yeah.
Alexa," right? But I have never had anything nearly as sophisticated because I always base model things.
Mm-hmm.
This car itself, was like stinking cheap, so I could go with one level
Fantastic.
up.
You got
Yeah.
a good deal.
Yes.
I really love that feature of new cars that you can connect Bluetooth. Now, I have only ever bought a family van, Sasha, so I don't know what it's like to drive around in a sporty brand new car. But my family van does have Bluetooth, and so it connects to my phone when I get in it, which is cool for making and taking calls because then it's hands-free. So the whole danger of picking up the phone or texting while you're driving becomes a moot point because it just allows me to make and take calls by pushing a button on the dash and then using voice commands, which is really, really great. But mine does not have the capability of streaming music from my phone over Bluetooth, and I wish it did.
Mine does. Mine
I
has.
love that.
It's like my car is. It's like I'm living inside my phone. That's what it's like. It's so connected to my phone that anything I can do with my phone, I could do with my car, and I can do it like by and large hands-free. I believe. I haven't actually tried any of it really.
So if your husband Dave gets in the car, does the car say, "Hello, Dave"?
I don't know. He actually hasn't seen it yet. But I have it, and I named it, so that's it. It's
I
red.
love that. Absolutely love it. Now, to be fair to my van, there is a USB port in the glove box. And I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. And so I plugged a USB flash drive into it from the old van, filled with MP3 music, and sure enough, it loaded up and it plays from a USB drive,
See?
which
Cool.
is really, really nice.
I would love.
works.
We should have done this show live, just booting around. The only
Why
thing
not?
is, it's an automatic, not a standard. I wanted a standard. But
Okay.
if anybody likes the game Dark Souls, the Dark Souls series, I named my car Estus because that is how you get life in Dark Souls. You drink from the Estus flask. So there you go.
I have no idea what she's talking about either, folks.
That's what happens
No
to me
idea.
every week. Every single week. There you go. Welcome to the Sasha Show.
Yeah, there you go. We've got to take a really quick commercial break. When we come back, we have a beautiful long-term supply single board computer from the wonderful Pine 64. We're going to pull it out of the box and see what it looks like. Stick around.
You know what we could do later
What?
is on the, we could vlog just my car. We could go out to the parking lot.
Want to go out?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do
I mean,
that.
we don't have to do it in this hour. We can do it after the hour, and then you can just post it to the Patreon viewers or whatever.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's an idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do a little walkthrough.
Hear that, patrons? New vlog coming soon from Sasha's car. It is really cool to be a patron, right? Am I right?
It's funny you called it a sporty new car because it's. Wait till you see it. It's,
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's like a clown car?
It's tiny. It's
Aw.
a Firefly, really.
Cool. So should we jump over? I'm going to jump over to do this product unboxing.
Yes.
'Kay.
So I don't talk during that?
You can talk, but I can't change the camera angle.
Okay, then I probably won't talk.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
I guarantee nothing.
All right. You know what? I'm just going to... Can I just jump right over? Do you guys like that shot? Is that cool? Can I just do that? I'll just do this. I'm going to do 2 shots.
Yes, it is, Marshman.
Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Let's get right into it. Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. How do I segue? It's poor planning.
And I don't know what else to say, so let's just jump right in.
Yeah. How about I say something to you and then I switch over to your camera, and then when I switch back, it's back over there. That's even better.
Yeah, say something about what my favorite shows are.
No.
And
we're
then
talking
it's
about
unboxing.
SBCs. Ready?
I know, but unboxing's gonna be okay.
Oh. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, well, you just go ahead and do your thing.
Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. We've all heard of the Raspberry Pi, but there are other single board computers out there. Sasha, you ready to take a look?
I certainly am.
I'm going to switch over to that. I'm going to unplug and plug back in. One sec. So you tell me if I get like badly out of shot, okay?
Okay.
Because remember, you can see, I can't.
Right. Pine A64.
Okay.
Just looking at it, liking it. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Through the magic of editing, that will seem incredibly seamless. All right, so tonight we're going to unbox the Pine 64 LTS. Now, I've got kind of the kit here. I've got my trusty ruler so that we can measure everything. All right, let's get right into it. This is, now LTS in this case for the Pine A64 LTS stands for long-term supply. That means that they're going to support this thing and continue manufacturing it until at least 2020. Where do I start? Okay, first of all, let's get right into the box of the Pine 64 LTS. There it is. The first thing that is immediately striking about this board is that it is significantly larger form factor than the Raspberry Pi that we're used to. Let's get in here. There it is. So this is the Pine A64 LTS, and it has an all-winner R18 quad-core ARM Cortex, the A53. That's a 64-bit processor, and that allows it to have 2 gigabytes of LPDDR3 RAM. So it's got about twice as much memory as a Raspberry Pi. So presumably we're able to do quite a bit more as well. It has a built-in SPI boot flash. It's 128 megs, and it's also got some really great capabilities here that we don't see on some of the smaller SBCs. First of all, I'm going to flip this over. Now, we do have what looks like the SD card reader here. And that's about it on this side. Over here we have, I hope you can see that all right, that's an eMMC input for a module of up to 128 megabytes. So that is essentially, so if you're used to single board computers where you've got a SD card, we know that SD cards are not overly reliable, and they do eventually basically fry themselves, and you lose the data that's on them, and that's part of SBCs. We know that SD cards are not that reliable, so we tend to have a backup and be able to replace them on the fly. Now eMMC, on the other hand, it's a solid state hard drive, and it's quite a bit more reliable and significantly faster. So this has that capability, unlike the Raspberry Pi, but similar to the Odroid XU4, for example. You can boot from either or. So you can boot from either the eMMC or the SD card, which is beautiful. You can put the OS on there, and you can choose which one you want to use. Now, if you are a maker, you're going to notice that it does have GPIO, so it's got the Pi 2 GPIO bus, Euler GPIO bus, and it's got connections for other peripherals as well. Lots of interfaces like UART, SPI, I2C. So if you're a maker that you want to, you want to integrate some sensors into this board or other peripheral devices, you can do that. So it's a perfect maker board. It's going to get you up and going real good. So this one comes with a 1-year warranty. Looks great. Now, I don't see a USB input for power. Do you notice that? But what I do see is a barrel connector. So I assume that this guy over here is going to be what we're looking for. So it is a 5-volt board, and this should be, let's see, we've got a 5-volt 3 amp. So 5-volt 3 amps, and it has the barrel connector. This is a 3.50D over 1.35 ID barrel type, or one or the other. There you go. So just like that. So it's a barrel connector anyways, not a standard USB micro or anything like that. So you will need a separate power supply for this particular SBC. And you notice again, it's quite a bit larger than a traditional SBC, which might be about half the size, but we've got a case for it. So let's take a look at that. First of all, I say it's larger. Let's give the measurements here. So we've got 3 inches. You can see that okay, Sash?
I can.
Perfect. 3.3 inches and 2, maybe 3 millimeters. And this way we've got 5 inches right on the money. So there you have it. Let's see what we've got here. Ooh, they look like AAA batteries.
Huh.
These look like a type of riser. Oh, I'm excited about that. That looks nice. Okay. Let's get a look at what they've got here. So we've got some PVC. Oh, and it's got the Pine A64 logo there. Nice and simple. Now, it looks like it's quite open concept. There you go. So that's going to screw. So we've got a couple of screws here. I'm not going to actually assemble this, but you can use your imagining, and you see that these 4 screws will hold this onto the riser plate. And then the risers that we have here that look like AAA batteries, and they're about the same size as a AAA battery, they're going to give us a rise on that board as well, about this high. So you're going to have a lot of airflow, but a lot of potential dust getting in there as well. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to keep that clean. That looks good. Okay. Now, other peripherals that you might need for your Pine A64 LTS. First of all, if you want to have Wi-Fi, it does support it, but you're going to have to get a separate module. And that looks a little something like this. There we go, and I guess that just snaps right on here somewhere. Let's see. There we go.
And then just like that, it has Wi-Fi?
Well, that is Wi-Fi now. And then I guess this is just the antenna, so we can stick that on there. And then, yes, you've got a Wi-Fi controller built in. Next up, I've got a 16 gigabyte. I mentioned the eMMC capabilities of this board. I love eMMC in comparison to, say, SD cards. More reliable, significantly faster, and that's all there is to it. So it looks roughly the size of a small SD card, but it's going to just simply snap onto the board just like so. So you just place it on top, find the spot, and snap it on, and now that is a 16 gigabyte hard drive on that main board. Perfect. We've got a heatsink for the CPU, and just in case I want to flash my own OS on there, let's say I want to put NEMS Linux on it, or I want to put a different distro of Linux or Android or Windows or whatever I want to put on there, they've included this extra peripheral, which you're probably going to have to buy separately. Now, we've been sent this by Pine64 to review, but this is a eMMC USB adapter. So now I can just simply plug this into the adapter and plug that into my computer and be able to flash any OS onto that that's compatible with this board. So speaking of compatible OSs, now this carries the A64 markings, and it is the A64 LTS. So you might presume that an A64 Plus OS will run on this, and that is not the case. This will run any of the Sopine platform OSs, and that is due to the RAM configuration of this particular board. So that means that the A64 Plus distributions of Linux or whatever it is that you want to install will not run on this board, even though it carries the A64 marking. Okay, so you need the Sopine versions of those OSs. So that's any of the builds that are available on the Sopine platform. So there you have it. I can't wait to fire that up.
That's going to be a great show. So fun. I love it.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's great. I love unboxings. They're actually my favorite.
Are they?
Yeah. Unboxings and then viewer questions. Yes. Those are... Unboxings are definitely my number one. Usually they cost me money, unboxings. We'll talk. And then I buy it.
So do you want to come off of that and say something like, ooh, I love that, or something like that?
Do I just say, ooh, I love that? Do I have to say welcome back?
No, just say like, I love unboxings, just like you just did, but now the camera's on you.
Oh, just... Okay, and just act natural?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I love unboxings. They're absolutely my favorite episodes.
I love the single board computers and how there are other brands that are really on the rise. The A64 LTS is something that I'm really excited about. Find out more about this board. I've got the links below, but head on over to pine64.org and you'll be able to check out this board. Stick around, we've got to take a really quick break. When we get back, we are going to be looking at the brand new release of GIMP, the GNU Image Manipulation Program. Well, 2.10.4 is out. We're going to show you what it looks like right after this.
You are great.
Hey?
You are great.
You are great.
You are also great.
Well, I'm all right.
So Marshman was saying if we switched the shot, maybe I would be looking at you when I actually look at you.
What am I going to do? Flip her shot?
Like,
so
no, but like put me in the little screen and you in the big screen.
Oh, just move it around that way?
Yeah, wouldn't then I be looking at you?
No, but then I would be looking away from you.
Oh.
So it's a good thought, Marshman. I could flip your horizontal axis. How are you for coffee?
I would love some more coffee.
Oh, would you now?
I would.
See, I take care of Sasha here.
So
keep the coffee flowing.
With the flood at my clinic, also the water fountain is broken.
No.
For the moment. So I feel like maybe my general exhaustion could be a lack of hydration.
Are we like cursed right now?
What, together? Like with things breaking?
Like in general, are we cursed? Because the show has had a hell of a couple of weeks.
Oh, maybe it wasn't Marshman that said it. I don't know who said it. We have had a crazy couple weeks.
Yeah.
But anytime something goes wrong at the studio here, it's much better than mopping up septic waste.
I mean, it sounds cool. I'm sure I can agree with that.
Yeah. Da, da. I wish I could sing. Then we could do an episode of me singing.
That'd be cool.
I cannot.
You guys enjoying the show so far? I sure hope so. Okay.
Oh,
What's up?
nothing. I just
okay.
misquoted.
Oh, who was it?
It was Solbu.
Or they? Oh, it was Solbu?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Check. Got to make sure that I plugged my microphone back in, 'cause it's not like I ever did that before.
That would be funny, too.
Oh, yeah, I've done that. You know that. Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Now, our website is www.category5.tv. Just go category5.tv in the address bar there in your browser, and you're going to be able to see all the different shows that we produce. Now, this being episode number 564 of Technology TV, that means there are 563 other ones that you can go onto our website and catch those shows. There are some great ways to participate in the community, to become a part of our Patreon page as well, so that you can get some behind-the-scenes access. Things like our weekly vlog. Sasha was talking about maybe going out to the car and showing her new car on the Patreon vlog, for example. So if you're a patron, you gain access to those things. And that's all through our website at category5.tv. One of the things that we love here, Sasha?
Yes.
Any guesses?
One of the things we love here is unboxings.
Yeah, we love unboxings. She's going to say Linux.
Yes, we love
She's
Linux.
going to say open source software.
Yes.
Open source software. Why do I love open source software so much?
Why? Because it's your heart. I don't know why. Because it's open and nobody makes money off it.
Yes, Robbie, who gives away the show for free, loves things that make no money. No, there is that, but I think there's this whole kind of spirit of community around open source software that says, and sometimes this is not the case, but certainly a lot of the times it is. It's people working together to develop software that they love and they are passionate about, and they distribute and they give away absolutely free, so that community members, people who want to just go to their websites and download it, can do that. And it's free.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's like the tech flash mob. Like the way everybody just in community gets together and they do something for the greater good. Only this is just open source. Not just open source. This is open source.
It's just like it. It's just like it. So you think about things like Microsoft Windows, and then you realize that there is Linux. Look at Linux Mint. Look at Ubuntu. Look at Ubuntu Mate. And realize that Windows, being a commercial application, that's closed source, it's proprietary, and it belongs to Microsoft, and you're paying for that. Linux, on the other hand, is open source. It's free. You can download it. You can install it. You're not limited to how many computers you put it on. You can put it on everything, and it still remains free. You can do all the same things that you normally would, like going on the internet, doing checking your email, surfing the web, watching YouTube, watching Category 5. All these things can be done. And then you say, well, yeah, but I need Photoshop. Because we're back in that mindset of proprietary, commercial, it's owned by Adobe, it's not something that we can just have and install on everything. But then we realize, oh, just like Linux is to Windows, there are alternatives to things like Photoshop. Sasha's got a guess.
GIMP?
GIMP. And when you say GIMP, it stands for the GNU Image Manipulation Program. GIMP for short. GIMP.org is where you can go. Head on over there, GIMP.org. I'm going to see if I can bring up my screen here. I'm sure I could. Here we are. And there we are. And the first screen that you see is giant, huge button that says download 2.10.4. That's what it says today. Tomorrow it might be 2.10.5. So you click on that, and lo and behold, hey, download it directly, and it's available for Linux. So if you've already made that choice that, hey, I want to go the open source route, not use Microsoft Windows, not use Mac OS, I want Linux, and you've made that choice, hey, you can install the GNU image manipulation program on your Linux system. And now you've got an open source alternative to Adobe Photoshop on that computer as well. So you're saving some money, my friend. You are frugal. But then look right next to that. It's also available for OS X. It's also available for Microsoft Windows. If you are stuck on Microsoft Windows, or maybe you love it, you can still download the GNU image manipulation program, and you can give it a go. Hey, it doesn't hurt anything to try it, right? So why not head on over to gimp.org and download that application and install it to your computer. So if you're on Windows, just click on the Microsoft Windows link, and it'll take you there. This tells us a whole big bunch, as you see. I mean, this tells us a lot about the GNU image manipulation program. It's been around for years and years. And right now, with 2.10.4, why am I so excited about it tonight? Anything that I could ever complain about with the GNU image manipulation program, or anything that would make somebody say, yeah, I like that it's open source, I like that it's free, but it's not as good as Photoshop. A lot of those things, anything that you can think of, other than CMYK, we'll talk about that, but any of those things are resolved. So now we're at the place with this free program where the GIMP is so good. You can use this in for commercial use. You can use this. I use this to do billboard scale print jobs, and I do it all in RGB. Because the GNU image manipulation program, if you want to look for anything that is better in Photoshop, that would be my example, would be that Photoshop will work in both CMYK and RGB. If you don't know what that means, it probably does not matter to you. Graphic designers will prefer to work in CMYK. It's more photo accurate in print, so when you print something, it's going to probably come out more accurately. But with some care, RGB, which is red, green, blue, can still produce an exceptional result. And if you're producing images for web, for online, for screen display, and for most print jobs too, RGB is going to work just absolutely fine. So it's not a downfall in the GIMP. It's just truly, that's probably the biggest thing that is different about the GIMP. So with 2.10.4 having been released, there are a bunch of really great new features. Now, I mentioned that some things have been fixed that used to be idiosyncrasies about the program. Now, those would be things like when you used to rotate an image a little bit, it would go blurry because it didn't have very good interpolation for re-interpolating the pixels. Photoshop had a one-up on that. Things like scaling down images, Photoshop did a better job because the GIMP would come out with a blurry image if you scaled down. Now that's no longer a problem. I've showed it on Category 5 before, but I will show it again tonight really briefly. So that is no longer a problem. So now looking at 2.10.4, we have some enhancements to things like the measure tool, which is what I want to look at tonight in our demonstration. But it allows us to fix the horizon of our images, and I want to show you that, so I'm not going to get too much into it. It has asynchronous font loading. What does that mean? When you open your program, it loads all the fonts. Well, now GIMP says, you know what, you probably don't need Comic Sans MS, so let's not load it until you demand it. Let's just wait. And so and because it's asynchronous, it's doing other things while it's loading those fonts, and so it's going to load up a lot quicker. We've got font tagging. We've got dashboard updates, which means that they have made some improvements to the UI. The PSD loading. So this is important. They've made some enhancements to the way it loads PSD files. That may not mean anything to you, but if you are transferring files between someone who uses Photoshop and the GIMP, a PSD file is a file that was saved in Photoshop. Photoshop document, I believe it stands for. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a PSD file was saved in the actual Adobe Photoshop program in their format. So in the GNU image manipulation program, if you make that transition, now you can open all those PSD files, and it does a very, very good job of loading PSD files directly. They have been working toward Gaggle and Babel support, and that is just nonsense, right? But it means that, again, the interpolation is much, much better, speed is much, much better, and a lot of the plugins have been redone to work better and more professionally. Gaggle is a big part of that. And again, you don't need to know all the details, but you can read about it on their website at gimp.org. Are you ready to get into it, Sash?
Certainly am.
Can I show you how this works?
Please.
Have you, Sasha, I'm talking to you, kid.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken a photo only to realize that it looks like it was taken by a one-legged pirate?
You know me well.
Holding the camera, take the picture, you think it's straight, but you know you're a little bit skewed,
Right.
so it ends up being horribly skewed. I've got a picture here that we're going to pretend I took. In fact, I did not. I got it from Pexels. Pexels.com, check them out. Okay, open with GNU image manipulation program. Now, I skewed it. The photographer didn't do this to it. Welcome to the GIMP. This is the GNU image manipulation program 2.10.4. Beautiful. Now, I am running this on Microsoft Windows 10. You can run this on any platform, Windows, Mac, Linux. And you'll notice with this photo, now it is incredibly skewed. If I create a box, I can see that a one-legged pirate did take this picture. And this happens very, very often. Now, I get photos from customers that, because when you're standing in a room, if you are not looking straight at the wall, you're looking a little bit off, that horizon of the wall will be off. And so in your mind, you think, oh, we'll straighten it and then take the picture. But then it ends up actually being crooked because it's not where the horizon should be. So I'm using this extreme example to really quickly show you one of the great new features, the enhancements that come built into the GIMP 2.10.4. Now, this is a free program, remember, and we've got all these great tools. We've got filters, we've got color, if you want to fix the levels of a photo, you can do that just like you would in Adobe Photoshop. And then you can save those settings to the photo just like that. Or you can undo. You've got all these options. Filters, as I mentioned, we've got things like Gaussian blur. You need to install this, go through these things, and just play and have fun. But in this example, now I brightened it up a little bit there with my levels, and in this example I want to fix the horizon. Now normally I would go through a process of having to rotate the image, which I can do. I can turn on things like a grid if I want to be able to kind of line that up. Let's see if I can show grid. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing. But sometimes, yeah, put a line, what looks like a line with the measure tool, and let go. Now there's a line where the horizon is. You can see that? And so now, all I have to do, you ready for this, Sasha?
I am.
What do you think about this button? Straighten. I'm going to push that and just watch what happens to this picture. Now, it's fast. I'm working with a 4818 by 2590 photo, and now my horizon is perfectly straight. Look at that if I make a box.
That is perfect.
It's beautiful. But I've got this like strange kind of cropping happening because it's done it within the canvas, and so it's got these kind of, the alpha section showing behind. Right. So I'm going to change the way that I do this by going back to my measure tool, which has moved now that I made that wider. Where to go? There it is. All right. Leaving interpolation at no halo because I want it to stay real clean. Let's look at what clip does differently. So I'm going to do the same thing and straighten. And lo and behold, clip looks pretty much the same to me as adjust. So I'm going to undo, and I'm going to change to crop to result. Now this is starting to sound promising. And do my line, straighten, And you may not think to look for this under measure, but there it is. So now you see what's happened. We've still got that alpha area, but it is the image has been cropped so that I can now right-click on the image and go Image, and then crop to content. Watch what happens. Boom.
Nice.
There is a beautiful image that I can now work with that has a perfect horizon. And I didn't have to figure it out. I didn't have to do any calculations. I didn't have to line things up and zoom in and squint. It was just that easy.
That is incredible. I could probably do that.
That's our measurement, folks. Sasha, do you think you could do this?
I think I could do that.
She thinks she could do this, so you can do it too. But truthfully, I mean, okay, let's backtrack just real quick. GIMP GNU Image Manipulation Program is free. You can download it from gimp.org. It runs on Windows, Linux, and Mac, and it is continually being developed by an open source community of developers, and it is continually improving. Now with 2.10.4 available, you can do something like straighten your image horizon just that easily. Go to gimp.org, pick up your copy today. It's absolutely free. What are you waiting for? We'll be right back. I'm actually going to throw it right over to the newsroom, and then we'll take a quick break after you tell us what's going on.
Sounds like a plan.
And I'm going to just install
And
the
then-
teleprompter.
Yeah. It is. Okay.
How you feeling?
Good. Good. Man, I could not do this by myself.
What? You can control the teleprompter, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
You want to turn that on? And
Yeah,
it's
sure.
working?
I can do that by myself.
So can we fill an hour or what?
Yeah.
Where is it? There it is. Teleprompter. I gotta sync it. Turn on Bluetooth. Turn up the screen brightness. Yeah, I think we're good. Is your keyboard on?
It is. Do you want me to turn it off and on again?
No.
Okay.
I just have to turn it.
Okay. A random question.
Yeah.
If something is made as a spreadsheet in Excel and then you open it in Calc,
Yes.
how do you change the formula, or how do you, can you easily make it so that it prints the same? That sounds like a weird question. I get.
As long as the fonts are
Similar.
available on both computers,
That's how to.
should be okay.
Oh, okay.
But you can tag the fonts. Look for PDF for printing.
Okay.
Probably a good one for tonight.
No, I won't ask it tonight. I have to get my actual words in order for that question, because.
I'm gonna give you your phone just so you don't accidentally forget it.
Oh, that's spectacular. Thank you.
Okay, the teleprompter is on. You want to just cue it?
Yes.
See how that works? Does it look good?
Yes, it looks great.
First time looking at it straight on, eh?
It's way better. Way betterer.
Sasha's just queuing up the teleprompter. I had to hook it up because we didn't have time before the show. Now, I think you can hear us all. Looks
Excellent.
good. I'm going to have to set up a shot for you, though, where you're offset to the side a little bit here. I think I'll use this one. And I'm just going to zoom it
And
out.
zoom out a bit.
And then I'm going to place it. I'll zoom out more. So with the image right next to you there, that should look good, eh?
Yeah,
So if I take that and then zoom in like that,
I agree.
cool.
Cool.
Y'all are happy with that? All right, so I'll throw it over to Sasha.
All right. Here are the stories we're covering this week in
Oh,
the
wait,
category.
sorry.
I don't know how to write.
I need to push record.
How do I go back?
You don't worry about it. Just these are the stories we're covering in the...
You know me. Here are the stories we're covering this week in the Category5.tv newsroom. Under a government proposal to cut emissions, new homes in suburban England will need to be fitted with electric car charging points. A migrating tagged male stork blipped out of contact on April 26th, only to run up a $2,700 phone bill a few weeks later. Amazon wants to fill the gap left by the closure of stores like Toys R Us by sending out printed catalogs. And a friendly reminder, in case you haven't already upgraded your web hosting to use SSL, effective this month, Google is warning users that their websites aren't secure. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
Jay Lim, that was a
Pine.
A Pine A64 LTS.
It's
from
the first
Pine.
not fruit. No,
It's a
no,
pine
no.
cone.
There was Odroid. That's true. Odroid isn't fruits either. But there's banana pie
Odroid even more
and
so.
raspberry pie.
But that was, yeah, go to pine64.org to find out more about it. Okay, are you ready to do this?
I am. Okay.
Excellent.
I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. New homes in suburban England will need to be fitted with electric car charging points under a government proposal to cut emissions. Also, wherever there's on-street parking, ministers want new streetlights to come with charge points. Details of a sales ban on new conventional gas and diesel-powered cars by 2040 are also expected to be set out. The strategy comes at a time when the government is facing criticism for failing to reduce carbon emissions. The government's target is to reduce the UK's greenhouse gas emissions by at least 80% of 1990 levels by the year 2050. The proposals, announced by Transport Secretary Chris Grayling, aim to make it easier to recharge an electric car. Grayling said that the proposed measures would mean having the UK having one of the most comprehensive support packages for zero-emission vehicles in the world. He said the prize is not just a cleaner and healthier environment, but a UK economy fit for the future and the chance to win a substantial slice of the market estimated to be worth up to £7.6 trillion by 2050. Wow. Okay. So this is absolutely incredible, and it seems inconceivable to me because here we are without anything like that in North America. But I wonder to myself, and this is not me trying to be in any way like dark or anything, but how are they getting the electricity? Like, is it the electricity not being sourced in a way that's not green? Do you know, Robbie?
You know, my knowledge of UK electrical generation is well outdated. And I know that it was very much skewed toward gas and coal generation.
Right.
Renewable resources were very low. Now, I'm just checking if things have been improving. And I do see that it looks like renewable energy is on its way up. Like, we're looking at almost 25% at this point. Now, in the past, the UK has, as I mentioned, very much been skewed toward gas, coal, with very little nuclear renewable energy, and so we're starting to see that rise, and that's part of, you know, initiatives to push for renewable energy sources. So looking at I'm looking at energy-uk.org.uk, and renewable technology, which is natural energy to make electricity, fuel sources like wind, that's a big one. That's something that's been really booming. Wind, wave, marine, hydro, biomass, and solar. So now making up 24.5% of electricity generated for the UK. So that's a huge rise, say 10 years ago, when it was closer to like 5%. So I'm pleased to see that, because it's an interesting point that you raised, Sasha, where it's kind of, you know, where is the advantage to switching to electrical motor vehicles if the electricity itself is being generated using dirty means, right?
Right. You know what? This is interesting and timely for me because I just bought a car, and while I was looking for cars, electricity came to my mind as an option, but I was really scared. Well, I scared off by the price point because right now electric cars are still way more expensive than the gas cars. But then also charging them, for me wouldn't
Right.
be as easy. Like there are some charging stations in the city we live in Barrie. But then charging it at home seems like you have to. I rent. It
You'd
seems
have
like
to
I would have to.
install. You'd
I'd
have to have
install
a thing
something.
installed that you would have to pay for. Absolutely.
Right, and I would have to ask my landlord because, of course, it's
Right.
his electricity bill, and it seems easier in this particular case just to buy a small little 4-cylinder car and fill up a small gas tank and not make a huge dent in the fact that it's little. I'd rather be electrical, but I feel like we've got a little bit of time before it actually happens here.
You don't think we're ready for it? And I can understand, like you mentioned about there are charging stations here in our city of Barrie, Ontario, and it's true, but they are all kind of clustered together, and they're only near a particular shopping center. So, hey, if you happen to be shopping at that shopping center, or maybe you're lucky enough to work there and have an electric car, it makes absolute sense. But if you live or work on the other side of town, to have to drive 25 minutes to a charging station and then, dilly-dally in the shopping center for however long it takes to charge your car, it just doesn't seem practical at all.
So close. We're getting there.
Working on it.
Exactly.
Maybe what the UK initiative is doing is making it practical. Maybe that's what it takes. Maybe it takes having them installed in every house.
Exactly. Wow. All right. A migrating tagged male white stork, known to the Polish environmentalists who were tracking him as Kajek, blipped out of contact on April 26. That, however, did not stop him from making the SIM card in his GPS tracker, with which the bird, or somebody who found the GPS device and picked it apart in order to get at the card, racked up a $2,700 phone bill. Kajak was last located at the Blue Nile Valley in Sudan on his way back home to Poland after successfully making his annual 6,000 kilometer or 3,700 mile trip to Africa, when his GPS tracker showed that he had stopped moving. Then, when his GPS tracker showed that Kajak had stopped moving, researchers at the environmental group Ecologic assumed that the bird was dead. They had placed the tracker on him in April of last year in a fairly routine practice. It was April 26 when things got weird. That was when the scientists who were monitoring Kajak's tracker noticed that the bird's signal started moving again, taking a roundabout 25-kilometer trip before it went dead. Then, a number of weeks later, on June 7th, Ecologic got the giant bill from its phone company. The group believes that in June, someone pulled apart the tracker to get at the SIM card, then used it for the marathon Call Everyone Everywhere spree, running up the $2,700 bill. Ecologic said that it doesn't know who made the calls, and they expect that they'll have to fork over the phone bill out of their own pockets. So... Now
I use pay-as-you-go, so that if my SIM card or my phone ever gets lost, the worst that could happen is they could use up the remaining balance.
Right.
And to think that they had a calling plan on a SIM card on a bird's tracker and then didn't cancel it when the bird stopped flying.
Right. So my question is really, if my SIM card gets stolen,
yeah,
right, I'm responsible for the bill.
Yeah, you sure are. And
so
I think the key thing is to call your service provider and cancel it immediately. Let them know that, hey, my SIM card. And the worst that can happen is that they cancel it, and then you find your phone or whatever, and then you just buy another SIM card for $10, and they port the number over to the new SIM card.
Okay. I have a second question, and it's kind of an environmentalist question. They're putting these trackers on birds,
Yes.
so I don't know exactly how they equip them, but then they just, like, once the bird stops moving or is presumed dead, it's just like, right? Because the tracker is dead, right? So are they just letting it just be where it lays? And then
sure, you know what, Sasha? I'm sure that if it was, like, nearby, that they would go and collect it. But realistically, I mean, these birds are migrants that are traveling great distances. They could go down in a jungle, or, you know, who knows? I don't know where they fly, but I think that they would, you know, could go down in a very dangerous place where they're not going to go in and look for, and who knows where it is, right?
And then what about predators, right? So you
Sure.
put a tracker on and a predator attacks the prey that you put the tracker on.
That's possible.
Now they've injected owners. It was something that was non-toxic, obviously, because it was in a human body. Could they not come up with some sort of tracker device that maybe would dissolve
Ingestible.
after?
It tastes like gummy bears.
Exactly, something like that.
I think they might be larger than that. I mean, but it's a GPS unit, right? With a battery that has to last a fairly good amount of time and be trackable from GPS satellites. So what it boils down to is it's probably not reclaimable in most cases, and in this case, I think it was just like facepalm that they didn't cancel the service on that SIM card.
Yeah, they will never make that mistake again.
Yeah.
Amazon's move into retail has largely hinged around opening or acquiring brick-and-mortar stores. But this holiday season, the online retailer will reportedly try something different: printed catalogs. We're talking about a massive holiday-themed catalog dedicated entirely to toys to conveniently fill the void left behind by the recently shuttered Toys R Us chain in the United States. Amazon's toy-specific catalog will be mailed to millions of Amazon shoppers' homes and will also be given away for free at Whole Foods locations. While the report compared this catalog to similar Christmas season toy catalogs from Toys R Us, Target, and other big box retailers, it did not confirm whether Amazon's planned book will be as big as those 100-plus page catalogs. The report also didn't clarify if or how the book will include price information, since the site hinges so largely on dynamic pricing and Prime exclusive deals. This is actually a super cool idea, I think, from a marketing perspective for people who perhaps haven't delved into the world of online shopping yet. And
You
this
think
is
those
like,
exist?
yeah, I think so.
And
Right?
Lyndon wants to know, like, why are they stepping backwards here as far as the way things are done?
I think that this is not a step backwards for them in that they're trying to get new customers. I think this is a new Whole Foods, and perhaps, grandma or grandpa, or it could just be anybody who doesn't online shop, opens the catalog and sees how easy it is to get all of these things right directly to your house.
I think that's one perspective. Now, my perspective goes right where Lyndon and the Foo in our chat room are thinking about the Sears Wish Book. And, that was the big, thick catalog that came out every year and had everything. And we would sit down as kids. I'm not going to date myself here. Sears just went out of business, so it could have been just a few years ago. Who knows? We would sit down as kids, and we flipped through, and our Christmas list was like circling the things that we wanted. And our lists would be, if it was handwritten, it would be page 273, I-4. Wanted for Christmas,
right,
or for my birthday, or whatever.
Right.
So there's a nostalgia for people who grew up in that era, and I think, Lyndon, that it's not so much a step backwards as it is improving loyalty for the nostalgic. Look at the retro gaming systems that we look at here on the show. Look at the NES Mini and the SNES Mini and these kinds of things, and you think, these are appealing to the nostalgic. Mm-hmm. People are probably not going out and getting retro games because they're amazing. It's nostalgia. And there's something about when it looks like a little mini Nintendo Entertainment System that really brings it on home.
Right.
I
wonder. I really do wonder how they're going to do pricing. They probably won't have prices in the catalogs.
They can't.
They cannot.
They can't. Especially when it's such an international system. Like the whole Amazon idea, you're going to have to maybe you can scan things. We'll see. But take those codes, take them onto the website, and then get your pricing.
Yeah. Yeah, they might have those, whatever they're called, the QI codes?
QR? Now we're really stepping back in time.
Oh, is that old? Oh,
I don't know. Old. QR codes really, looked like they had a lot of potential, and everybody was like, oh yeah, let's get a QR code, and they put it on every product, and then they just kind of fizzled and nobody uses them. It just kind of seemed to die as a technology, I think.
Maybe until now, maybe they'll be in the catalog.
Maybe, or they'll bring out something new, and the Amazon app will be able to scan from your phone the new type of code that Amazon implements. You watch for it. I'm going to patent that right now, marking it down. New QR code from Amazon. Got it.
This is exciting. Yes. For the past several years, Google has moved toward a more secure web by strongly advocating that sites adopt HTTPS encryption. And within the last year, they've helped users understand that HTTP sites are not secure by gradually marking a larger subset of HTTP pages as not secure. Effective this month with the release of Chrome 68, Chrome will mark all HTTP sites as not secure. Developers have been transitioning their sites to HTTPS and making the web safer for everyone. Progress last year was incredible, and it's continued since then. Over 68% of Chrome traffic on both Android and Windows is now protected. Over 78% of Chrome traffic on both Chrome OS and Mac is now protected, and 81 of the top 100 sites on the web use HTTPS by default. Chrome's new interface will help users understand that all HTTP sites are not secure and to continue to move the web towards a secure HTTPS web by default. HTTPS is easier and cheaper than ever before, and it unlocks both performance improvements and powerful new features that are too sensitive for HTTP.
Wow. Sasha,
Wow.
all that there is HTTP, HTTPS, HTTP, HTTPS, and what does it all mean?
And I'm wondering, yeah, I understand like the S stands for secure, is that right?
Yeah, well, HTTP is the protocol that your computer uses in order to access the internet. So when you look at your web browser's address bar and it says HTTP:// and then Category5.tv or whatever website you're on, Amazon.com or whatever, but it starts with HTTP is the old way, or now HTTPS. So HTTP was the original protocol that allowed this information, hypertext, HT, transfer protocol. So it allowed the transmission of that hypertext information, which are, if you back up to the 1960s when the internet was invented, hypertext is like website content, the text, the way that it interacts with one another, the way that hrefs links connect to one another. And so that protocol is to send and receive, transmit and receive data. So then it was realized that, hey, this is not very safe. We're sending a lot of information over a protocol that can be intercepted and read. Now, hypertext, think about it, text. It is text. It is readable by anyone who sees it. So you've heard of man-in-the-middle attack, MITM, man in the middle. That is somebody who has a server or a computer or a router or a modem or a device on the internet or network that is listening for hypertext traffic, text traffic, and they can then save that, log it, aggregate it, and read it. So if it's confidential information, now they have access to that. So what has happened over the past couple of years, and now Google is forcing, is that all of that traffic needs to be encrypted. So when you look at your address bar, it now says HTTPS for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, or SSL. And so then you can rest assured that the information that's being sent to your computer from the server and back to that server from your computer is encrypted, so it cannot be intercepted by that man-in-the-middle attack. Well, it can. Correction, it can be intercepted, but it cannot be understood. It's no longer plain text. It's encrypted data flow. So Google has put their foot down. They've said, okay, we're forcing the internet to be HTTPS. Now, if you run Chrome and you go to a website that is not HTTPS, which means it's secure, it's going to tell you it's not secure. So if you run a website, you have to set up SSL certificates, and you have to enforce that anyone who goes to your site, it automatically puts them on HTTPS. That's important. And it's also, it's not just to stop Google's browser from complaining about it. No, it's to protect the end users. Category5 TV, we switched to HTTPS years ago because we want to protect the confidentiality of our viewers, our users, as they interact with us. So that's important to us, and it should be important to you as well. You can check out, just quickly, Sasha, if I may. I know you're like, hey, you really kind of took over my show here.
No, this is perfect. This has been very helpful.
Oh, fantastic. Let's Encrypt is a free service that allows you to set up SSL certificates on your website. They have an amazing, amazing website that you simply tell it a little bit about your server, and it will give you the codes that you need in order to set this up on your computer. So it's let'sencrypt.org. You can head on over there. I've just brought it up on my screen just to confirm I had it right in my mind. Let'sencrypt.org. What it means is that you can have secure hosting at no extra charge, because in days gone by, one of the things that kept people from setting up SSL, secure certificates and encryption, is that it cost money. Now Let's Encrypt has changed all that, and it's free. So check out let'sencrypt.org. We love free! Yay! When it's good. When it's good.
Thank you so much, Robbie. And big thanks to Roy W. Nash and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And for more free content, be sure to check out our website. From the Category5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Rickman.
And I'm Robbie Ferguson. Thank you so much for being here again with us this week. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Please go to our website, Category5.tv, track us down, track down this episode, number 564 of Technology TV, and submit your comments. Give us a thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, don't just give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe as well. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. We'll see ya. Kablam. Okay,
Blam.
We got to do a quick intro, yeah?
That's right.
And are we actually shooting a thing?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV. This is episode number 564, and tonight Sasha is across the room from me, but she is here. Now it's just Sasha. Tonight we're going to be looking at a beautiful single board computer from Pine 64 that is going to be manufactured all the way through at least to 2022. We've also got the GNU image manipulation program pre-installed on my laptop. I can't wait to show you the new features in version 2.10.4. It's a free alternative to Adobe Photoshop if you've ever wanted to edit photos or even get into graphic image editing as a profession even. This is a free alternative to the commercial applications available for you, and we're going to show you how you can get that and show you just some of the new features as well. Lots of great stuff coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Good,
Okay.
good.
Is that all right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And you wanted to do a blog?
Yes, let's...
Come back in and grab your stuff, so that it's a little less.
Oh, I'm doing it alone?
No, I'm coming with.
Okay, good. Whew. Whew. Good.
We're gonna do a vlog. Tell the patrons that the vlog will be up soon. Tell them.
The vlog.
No,
Oh,
tell them.
Oh. Oh, the vlog will be up really soon. We're going to go check out my new car. I forgot that they could see me.